Hello, everyone. Happy Monday night. It is Monday, our Migraine Strategy call. We're coming to you at a special time this week for a couple of reasons. Number one, because Thursday is Thanksgiving in the US, and hopefully everyone is going to be spending some time with family or friends and enjoying themselves. But the second reason that we moved to Monday night is because we have a special treat for you tonight. We only do this once or twice a year, and this call we call our panel call. We have three amazing women with us this evening. We have graduates of our Freedom from Migraine Method Complete program who have come back to share their experiences with you and to answer all of your questions. We had a whole bunch of people submit some amazing questions. We're going to get to as many as we can tonight. And then the ones that we can't get to, I promise I will make sure that we get some information in the group this week answering those questions for you, because we want to make sure that this call is all about you getting your answers, but also honoring your time so that we're not staying on too long for you. So ladies, thank you for being here tonight. I'm super excited. This is going to be so much fun. So let's dive right in. Let me pull up my questions here, and we are going to start with Carrie. So as each person comes on, they're just going to give you a quick little bit about themselves, and then we are going to jump right into the questions. So Carrie, let's start with you today.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name's Carrie. I joined the program. Actually, it's going on, I think, gosh, I can't keep track, maybe a year and a half ago, something like that. I had been getting migraines for over 20 years. And initially, like a lot of people, I didn't even know they were migraines that I had till someone suggested, maybe those aren't sinus infections you keep getting that aren't clearing up. Maybe those are migraines. And it started me down the cycle of doctors, neurologists, and trying every single medication and thing known to man. And I happen to have a lot of on the low end sensitivities to medication, on the far end major allergies to a lot. I have a very long list of medications. So, you know, those things weren't very successful for me. And so ultimately, I actually finally found relief in the program. So that's why I was happy to be part of the panel today and hopefully answer some questions some of you might have who are maybe hesitant to give it a shot.
I love that. I cannot believe it's been that long. I knew it had been a while. I should have gone back to look, but it has been.
Might have been even a little long. Well, yeah, around there, maybe almost 2 years now. And that's why, yeah, until I thought about it, I was like, oh, wow, that actually has been a while. Yeah.
Even that, though, because it shows that this is a lifestyle change, right? It's not just something you do in 4 months. So,
yeah.
So Carrie, the question I think that's going to be the best for you, because this was you. Is the program difficult to do if you are always busy?
So and not to scare anyone, I think the answer is yes and no. Difficult, I think initially it's the sense of overwhelm, but for me, that was a very much an emotional overwhelm feeling because of thinking that, is it going to be time I don't have towards something that's not going to work? But once I started the program, one of the unique things that I liked about it, even though I'm by nature a very impatient person, also because of that busy mindset, things are done very step by step. It is not an overwhelming amount of work, time, or things at any one point. It's gradual. It's quick but gradual. I know I sound all over the place, but Debbie put together a program that's very deliberate in its steps and which step you do first, then second, and you have time to get comfortable with each step, to feel good about each step and be able to see and track progress in each step, so that as you accumulate those things, it's not like it takes a ton of time up front. And then before you know it, you realize you've incorporated all of these changes that if you tried to do them at once, absolutely, I think it would be so overwhelming and it would feel like it's taking a lot of time. But I was able to make these little changes each day, each week, with each, module that set it up. And I have to tell you, it was the best thing for me. I was told by Debbie and Barbie many times, just take it easy, slow down, one thing at a time, because I get very over eager. But it's, I have a full-time, career. I work full-time. I also work part-time doing consulting work. I have 3 kids. I have a high schooler, but then I also had 2 kids later. So they're only in kindergarten and first grade, dog, a husband, all of that. So the time thing, I completely get. And that's why, like I said, initially my response would have been, and I had that as part of my call with Barbie and Debbie before I decided to join, is I just don't know if now's the right time. Maybe later, maybe later. There just wasn't going to be a later because, my life was feeling like a pile on all the time. I was in transition living because we had sold our house, we were renting, and then we were staying with family because we lost our rental in the process of building. So when I tell you I understand the busy, I really do. But what happened with all of that is it was making my migraines worse. And with every day that my migraines were getting worse and more frequent, I was losing more and more time. So there was no reason finally for me to not give it a try. And I listened to other testimonials and panels that were, on the page, had a lot of conversations, and, had a heart to heart with my husband. And we decided that I needed to try it, especially, like I said, to put some time into some lifestyle changes was going to be worth it to me to feel good about myself and actually get time back. And that's the biggest thing. I got more time once I started doing this. I got more time with my kids because I wasn't in bed. I got more time, with him, more time to do things, around the house, even just do things outdoors without feeling like, oh no, I'll get a headache. And what's the weather like? And, all of that. So, for me, and it was a resounding, I now have more time than I had before, for this reason. Even though all that other stuff is still there, my schedule is still absolutely insane, but I have more time where I'm alert and I'm awake and I'm happy and I'm not cloudy, and I would not give that back for anything.
And I'm so glad that you kind of wrapped it up that way, because I think it's important. I hear this from women all the time. In a couple months, life will calm down. I'm going to do it then. Let me get through the holidays. I'm going to do it in January. And you know what? Life is no slower in January or next January or the January after that. I mean, I'm an empty nester. My kids aren't here. I'm busier now than I was when they were home. You just fill it with something else, right? Especially since most of us in this group tend to lean towards type A, type C personalities. I think that's why so many of us have migraines, right? And
A little bit.
we just fill that time, or something finds, the universe knows, oh, you have a block Monday from 3 to 4, gonna fill it. So I love the fact that you said that we really have to spend that time on ourselves so that we do get that time back. If we used to spend, let's say, $100 a month with migraines, and you work on your migraine freedom, that's 100 hours you get back. And that's huge. So thank you for that, Carrie, because if anyone is busy, it is Carrie. Amazing. All right, Maggie, let's have you jump in. Tell everybody a little bit about you, and then we'll jump into your question.
Yeah, I, like Carrie, had migraines for probably 20 plus years, and they were just eventually getting just kind of worse and worse. Had tried lots of different treatments, all of the medications, the Botox, the acupuncture, chiropractic, everything. And I would find that I would get like a little bit of relief, and then it would just, my body would adjust and go back. And so I'm also a mom and work full time, and I didn't want to be remembered as the mom who was in bed all the time, because that's where I was getting at. So that's a little bit about me.
I love it. And that kind of leads right into your question, right? Because we hear this so often. I have tried everything, literally everything. I've done it all, the elimination diet, the Botox, the surgery, all the stuff, so why will your program work? So the question would be, what made you decide to join when everything else had failed for you?
Yeah. So I think I kind of go in phases of, hey, this is just going to be my life and I'm just going to accept it. And then there would be other times where I'm in so much pain and just was like, I can't keep living like this. And there's got to be something. And so I think it just came up on Facebook. And what I really liked is kind of the testimonials from other women who had done the program. So it wasn't just this like quick gimmick or like, hey, take the supplement and it all gets better. It's, hey, and I didn't exactly say what the program was, but I was just like, hey, if people are successful with this and these women are saying like, that it helped them and they had tried everything, like why wouldn't it help for me?
Mhm.
And if it were some medical procedure and they'd be like, hey, it's 75% effective, I'd be like, give it to me. So it was worth investing in. I think I also had initial kind of the sticker shock. I did the Kickstart program, which was like I think it was more like a 5-week program. And I saw results from that. And so that to me gave me indication like, hey, do the full program and you're going to get some more lasting results and some more information on what to do. So to me, that was very worth it. And in fact, it was funny because even my husband was like, I don't think it's going to work. I think you're just going to have to live with this, but I support you, if you want to do it. And he was pleasantly surprised. And even my kids were like, Mom, we see a difference in you. And so, and my coworkers, I literally would like take naps or lay down under my desk when they would get so bad at work. And they're like, hey, we've noticed that you haven't been having to do that as much. I was like, yeah.
You haven't been hiding under your desk.
Right.
Oh, can you imagine? I mean, who is watching right now that can think about that, being in so much pain at work that you are literally hiding under your desk to take that quick break, right? Because then you got to jump right back up and be there again. So, well, Maggie, I'm so glad you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, we've had a whole bunch of women pop on as we've been chatting. Hello, Marcia and Shannon and Rachel and Valentina's on and Gina and Tracy and Jenny and Stacy and Kathy. They all obviously wanted to be here for you ladies. This is a huge turnout. Plus there's so many more I can't even see right now. So thank you ladies for being here. And do me a favor, if any of you have any questions, even though, we might not be able to get to them today, please submit your questions right below, because I will, hopefully these ladies, if we don't get to them today, they can maybe answer in a post later on and let you know how things are going. I love it. All right. We have a few more questions. Let me jump over to Cheryl. So Cheryl, would you like to tell everyone a little bit about you and then we'll jump into your question?
Sure. I'm Cheryl DeBaker. Anyways, I'm a teacher and I just wanted to go back to that time thing. Like I always say, oh, I'll have more time in the summer. No, I don't. There's no time. It doesn't change. It gets busier, kind of like Debbie was saying. The more time you have, I think the busier you get. Anyways.
Exactly.
I've had migraines for over 20 years and progressively they've just gotten worse and worse and worse. And so then eventually I too went to the neurologist and was trying all the different meds to try and help. And it was like every med that I was taking to prevent my migraines was giving me a different health issue. And so then I would have to change the med and different abortive meds when you got the migraine. And now I was having them weekly and it was just constant. It was just like this spiral. And I think when I found the program, I was just like desperate, just like, please just help me. I do not like being on medication. And so I went through all the guides and I listened to all the people that were going through all their things. That is the best part, I think, is that you can go on there and get all of that stuff for free before you decide to join up. It's not like you can get that for $10.99, blah, blah, blah. It's not. They're all out there for free. Check it out and then come to us.
I love that. I love it. You guys make such a difference, the time that you're giving tonight. And trust me, I know, even though you have less migraines, you found your migraine freedom, your time is still massively valuable, but you're giving it back to this group because you're so passionate about the fact that you don't want anyone watching this to have to suffer needlessly with migraines. So I greatly appreciate you being here and doing this for us. And we just had another special guest pop in. I'm so excited that Barbie's here. How are you, Barbie?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late to the party, but it's life.
It's still a party. We don't mind lateness. We're all good with that. So we love it. Barbie is a member of our migraine success team. She is one of our success coaches over in the Freedom from Migraine method. So I wanted everyone to have the chance to be able to have Barbie here, but Barbie also did go through the program, went through the Freedom from Migraine method, did Destination Zero. So full circle, you have someone on here who did the program and is now supporting and helping all of our clients. And everyone is still popping on. Hello, ladies. So good to see all of you. I can't see any questions, but please go ahead and pop them in there if you do have any, and Valentina will make sure she watches that. Okay, so I had a question that I'm going to answer, and then I might throw Barbie under the bus and see if she'll help me with one too. I promise it's a good one. But anyway, I had somebody ask, and actually, Barbie, we can do this one together. I had somebody ask me about decreasing inflammation. How do I do it? Nobody's telling me the steps. I want to learn what the approach is. And really, it is a 6-pillar approach that we use in the Freedom from Migraine method. It's called the Migraine Freedom Protocol. And we cover 6 key areas of inflammation. And I think this particular person is hoping that in like 3 minutes, I can just answer very quickly how to do that. And I wish it was that simple, right? And the ladies on the screen right now wish it was that simple. It's not 100% difficult, right? All of you said you did it within 4 months and you were able to go through the program, but it's so unique per person that this is where the group comes in. This is where the coaching support comes in, the daily access to the team, the coaching calls that we do, because we have this process, this protocol, but we need to be able to help you learn how to tailor it for you for success. So while we know that chronic inflammation is at the root of migraines, and that's what we need to focus on, it's actually at the root of most health issues. It's not as easy as me giving you a 1, 2, 3, 4 checklist. I wish it was. Anything you want to add to that, Barbie, that maybe might be helpful for this person?
Absolutely. As you're saying this, it reminds me of all of the times that ladies say, my migraines aren't from inflammation, mine are from hormones, or mine are from this trigger or that trigger. And actually, hormones and food triggers and all of those things have a root cause, right? So, and that is inflammation. If you get your inflammation down, you're going to be so surprised that your hormones start to balance out, that your food triggers become far less sensitive or disappear unless you have a true allergy. I have to say that when I joined the program, I had so many gut issues and other health problems. And some of those health problems I'll never get rid of because they're, genetic and permanent. But having lowered the inflammation, those things are next to nothing to me anymore. I mean, I have never felt this good in 11 years, and I did it all. So you had to pay attention to me and all my weird things, right? I had
You wanted to be a challenge
food.
for me, Barbie. That's all.
I know. I wanted to really get my money's worth.
You did.
But I mean, and we all have our own unique situation. We have different food triggers, and some people don't think they have any, and then later on find out that at least they had some sensitivity, because it's, especially after the age of 35, it's almost impossible to have a perfect gut if you're eating the standard American diet. So, and having the standard stress that we have and those kinds of things. And so I gave you your run for my money. And I was so glad to get the individual attention. And now I'm one of those coaches, but at the time we had some other amazing coaches that answered my questions. And sometimes I felt bad that I was asking so much, but everybody was, no, just, this is what we're here for. So you have to get the personalized attention. You just have to. I have a nutrition background, so I came in with what I thought was a lot of knowledge, but there was my thing was some food triggers and then electrolyte balance. I learned so much that I did not know. And I, thought I knew a lot. I did know a lot, but.
And you did. And just like the ladies on here, they know a lot too, but it's different when you're trying to look at your own self and trying to come up with a plan that's going to work for you. And you, as you said, you are extremely smart in nutrition with that background, but it's really helpful when you have somebody who lives, eats, breathes migraine and understands.
Right. And it's not just the one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you go out and you do all these different diet plans that are geared for people with inflammation or migraine or whatever. And that's great and probably helpful, but it's not the whole story. Exactly. Like you said, there's those 6 key areas. And to this day, I have those 6 key areas written real pretty. I did calligraphy on my refrigerator so that I don't forget even one of them. And probably the one that I'm more likely to forget is my sleep hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll get lazy and I'll be on my phone too late or something. So I really needed to have it front and center in my kitchen so I can go, oh yeah, I have to do this to stay feeling like this.
I love that. I love it. And actually, in the question where you just answered everything, Barbie, you took my other question from me. So you are all good. I love how you just do 2 for 1, because I really wanted to focus on the fact that there's so many women out there that think, I have this genetic issue. Your program's not going to help me. I have hormone imbalance. Your program's not going to help me. I have, I don't know, X autoimmune condition. Your program's not going to help me. And since we know that, as we've said a couple times, that chronic inflammation is at the root of most illness, when we focus on that, all of these other things get so much better. You know, sometimes we can put autoimmune conditions in remission, maybe not full remission, but man, I've had so many people tell me, I feel amazing. I'm able to get off of this med. I don't need this anymore, just by focusing on this one area. But again, that one area is going to be different for each and every one of you. Carrie might have had to focus more on, I'm just going to make something up, nutrition integration, where Maggie focused more on circadian responsivity, and maybe Cheryl was focusing more on mindset modulation, you know, but they all focused on all 6, but there might have been different areas that they each had to tweak a little bit more. And that's where the key comes in. All right. I want to make sure I don't get off on a tangent, because especially now that Barbie's here, we have a habit of doing that. So I want to kind of do a little round robin now and give everybody a chance, because I think we covered the main questions. So I want to give everyone a chance before we have to go to say a little bit of something to the group. We have a ton of women on now. People keep popping on. So I'm going to start with Maggie, work my way around, and let's think about the one thing that you would love to be able to share with the women in the group right now that would give them some hope.
Okay. I think mine would just be kind of how Barbie was mentioning, you know, these 6 pillars. There was a time where I was not patient either. And I remember coming to one of the coaching calls and I was just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why isn't this working? And I think the biggest message was be patient. You know what you need to do, because it was near the end of the program.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, you have the skills, you have the knowledge, just do the steps. And so that was a really great reminder, and also confidence, like, no, all is not lost. And in fact, so I finished the program in October. I thought I was doing awesome. And I was like, I'm going to give myself a cheat day. And I went to this really awesome buffet and I let myself eat whatever I wanted to. And then I haven't been exercising as well. Well, guess what? The headaches came back. So, but again, this reminder of, I know what I need to do. I can do it. I'm in control of my future. And so I think just knowing those steps, and if you get off track, get back on track. Not a big deal.
Absolutely. And I think that's so important to remember when we say the word migraine freedom, this is not like, you know, something I'm trying to sell you saying you'll never have a migraine again.
Yeah.
If anyone ever tells you will never have a migraine again, you should probably run, grab your wallet and run. But what we want to do here is teach you the steps that you need for when something sneaks back in, for when you make a choice, for when life throws you a bunch of, for lack of a better word, throws you a bunch of shit all at once. Because this is all about threshold. You know, Barbie's favorite training that we have. It's not about figuring out what every single trigger is and trying to eliminate it, because there's some things you can't eliminate. You can't eliminate the weather. You can't tell your coworker to stop wearing perfume. Well, you can, but they might not. You know, you can't necessarily, you know, do a lot with your cycle, you know, unless you do something drastic. So we need to focus on the things that we can and raise that threshold higher. So that is key. I love that. All right, Cheryl, let's jump to you and then we'll go to Carrie. What would you like to say to the group?
I would like to say, like, even if you think about beyond your migraines, I have found so many other health things. Like people have said, I have more energy. I used to come home from work and just want to go lay down.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just have more energy. I'm more, and this is all of the programs, all of part of the program. I set myself a schedule. Now I wake up before my alarm clock. I'm ready to go to bed when it's time to go to bed. That was never me. Ugh. And I just feel so good. So beyond the migraines being gone and the fear of always having, they're not gone. I do still get some migraines, maybe once a month, but I don't have this fear all month long. I don't have them every week. I'm not on any kind of medication. And when I do get my migraine, it's like, okay, I've got these things, I'm going to take care of it. But on top of that, I had this anxiety, and it would come to me when I was in the car, when I was driving, and all of a sudden all the lights in front of me would put their tail lights on, and I could just feel like the hair on my neck start to, and I don't know why, like the air in my car would go away. It was like, whoa, it was suffocating. And now twice that has happened to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have that anymore. I don't have that feeling. So it's just like, it's just for your whole health, for yourself, just for yourself. Just take the time for yourself, and then the migraines will also go away on top of everything else.
I love that. And you definitely have a job that I feel something very common in this group. We have a lot of educators, in this group. So it's nice to hear that you can still do your job, a job that you love and are passionate about, but that stress piece is now not impacting your migraines as much anymore.
No, it's great. And I can breathe through those stressful meetings. I've learned how to deal with that now.
Yeah, because we're never going to have stress all the way gone, right? Ever. I don't care who you are. I guess maybe if you live on a desert island, maybe, but there's still going to be some stress somewhere, right? A little hurricane coming in. So it's great to know that you have those tools. All right, Carrie, jump in. What would you like to say to everyone?
Sure. Well, in addition to agreeing with a lot of what was already said, I remember actually when I was going through the program, Debbie, and there was a point when I was so excited because it was like the first time in the program where I started to feel like a prodrome. I started to feel like a sign that I was getting a migraine, and I went through the steps that I knew at that point, and it went away. And I was so amazed. Like, I got on the call, I'm like, guess what happened? I chased it away. Like, I don't know how I phrased it. I'm like, I literally, and I was so excited, and you were commenting on how you literally saw the hope in my face. And I have not forgotten that particular call because I hadn't had that hope in so many years. And it was so exciting. And that had me keep going. And the more I kept going, what was interesting is, you get rolling along and things are going great and great and great. And, but with the busy, life keeps going. And I hadn't even realized how many months it had been that I actually had no migraines. And I went through a really, really rough patch then. And this was after I graduated from the program. We had a couple of really, really sudden deaths in the family. I was involved in a court case. There was this pile on. And I will fully admit, I fell off the migraine wagon. I let a lot of things slide. And what I can say is, for a very long period of time when I was going through that, the migraine still didn't come back because I had done so much work for so long that a lot of those things that would have instantly triggered a migraine and had me in bed, just really into that depressive state and kind of, the back and forth, the med, the migraine, the migraine, depression, med, migraine. I didn't get in that cycle. It was still a very rough time. And then I caught myself. I did suddenly start to get a few. And I had that like wake up call. Like you said, I knew what I had to do. I said, you know what? I just went this long doing absolutely nothing I was supposed to do because I just let myself really get emotional because life, and I got right back on and I was able to really tame it down again. And I'm not saying, like you said, Debbie, I never get any, but they're much more mild. And usually I don't need any medication to get them to go away. And I still have that freedom. I still feel so much less anxiety than I used to. Do I have all my meds? Do I have to get a refill? Oh, it's Thanksgiving week. Normally I'd be looking, all right, if I don't get the order in now, what if I don't get to the pharmacy and they can't fill it? If I run out of, I don't have that. I don't even know where they are. I just don't. And so it's just such a lifting feeling. And I just want everyone I know that has ever experienced a migraine and those that I don't know to be able to feel that. I mean, and even my kids say that, like my little kids made me cry because they were telling me how I smile so much more now. And so
that's so sweet.
That
so sweet. Yeah. And the migraines do totally change, right? I mean, I had 10 years, every single day I had some level of pain, and it's now been 10 years that I can say that I have not had any. I get some warning signs, I get the neck tension. That's where my warning, it comes right up here. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, take a focus. What have you done over the last week? What's been going on? Where do you need to dial in? And it's funny because I do this 7 days a week. I am talking to women with migraines. So one would think I would never get any little neck tension, but that just goes to show you it's life. It is life, and life sneaks in. It could be stress. It could be the holidays are coming up. It could be maybe I, didn't eat as well. I didn't exercise, whatever the case is. But the great thing is I know exactly what to do so that it doesn't go further than that warning sign. So I actually appreciate my neck and the fact that that's the warning I get now. That it's not a migraine warning. It's it's uncomfortable, but it's not horrible, right? I think maybe a couple times I have had to take a couple Advil, when it's gotten really bad and my tools weren't working. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try an Advil, see what happens. But guess what? It's gone. How many people in this group can say, not you ladies included, but the other people watching, how many people could say that taking one Advil right now would do anything for you? I'm guessing the percentage is going to be under 10. It's going to be really low because typically at this point, it's like we need massive medication just to try to manage and get through the day. So please know, all of you, that migraine freedom is going to be different for each and every one of you, but those migraines are going to be totally different than before you started this program. All right, I'm going to let Barbie finish us up, and then I'm going to honor everyone by getting us the heck off of here so that we can all go and enjoy our evening. I just want to, before Barbie hits in, I just want to say hello to everyone that keeps popping on. We've got Becky. Hey, Becky, how are you? I'm looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Kathy popped on. We have another Kathy and Tyler. Oh my goodness, I haven't talked to you in forever. Good to see you, and Jennifer and Karen and Lisa. I think this is probably one of our best attended migraine strategy calls in ages. So I think this is telling me we need to do this a little more often. It's you ladies. Look what you brought to the table today. All right, Barbie, finish us off. What would you like to say to the group?
Well, as all of you guys are talking, I can share all of that. I mean, I had all of the problems. I had headaches every single day. I didn't know what my prodromes were because they were too close together. I actually had cancer before I met Debbie, and I was able to go back to work. But when the migraines started, I had to go out on disability. So that tells you something. Migraines are just horrible. So as my migraines began to decrease, I started noticing prodromes, but I was still in medication overuse. And I hate to say that in public because I think my insurance company might be listening, and I just don't want to say it. But I feel like, and I don't have data, but I feel like a lot of ladies are in medication overuse. And Debbie has a plan for that too. So you've got migraines or you've got some kind of a headache disorder. I had hypnic headaches, which technically is not even a migraine, but I also had migraines. I had like 10 different kinds. Who knows what I really had, but this program works for all of the issues that surround migraines. So if you've got gut issues, that's probably contributing to your migraines. And, if you just medication overuse, all of that gets worked on in the programs here. And I think that most ladies, if I'm correct, have those issues.
Yeah.
And so maybe feel like a migraine program isn't going to help because it's not their only thing. But again, to get the migraine freedom, we would deal with everything. And I had some migraines here and there. I would have one. I had one when I had COVID. I had one, I don't remember when else, other things happened. But in between, I don't. And I do have the warning sign too. Mine's on one side. I get like the occipital thingy, and then I'll get a little thingy. And usually I can handle that even without the Advil, just with some of the tricks, and I'm still, and the one downside of becoming migraine free, if you can even call it that, is that when I go out with my girlfriends now who have known me forever, and I tell them, by the way, and I tell them this every time they have to listen to me, I don't get migraines anymore. And they're like, oh, cool. I'm like, but it's
like, we need to sing it from the rooftops, folks.
It's a really big deal, you guys. Because it was every day, debilitating, vomiting, and nobody's quite as excited as I am.
Well, we're right there and excited. Trust me, we are. I cannot imagine what life would be like going back now. I just can't.
Yeah. just to think about it, sometimes I get, I still get a bit upset.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
well,
at
it's
first I was
sad.
just really happy, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
having a migraine today, or I haven't had one in 2 weeks or 3 months. But now when I think about it, it's still just a little bit upsetting to think that that is what I went through.
Yeah. Well, it's the pain that you ladies are going through. But really, at the end of the day, what makes me the most sad, and I don't know if you ladies agree, but it's the time. It's the time I lost. It's the things that, you know, and I know so many of us push through, right? Because everyone's like, I still went to my kid's game. I still did this. I'm like, yeah, but were you there? Were you really there mentally? You know, you weren't, because you were either on medication, you know, so you're kind of a little fuzzy, or you were in so much pain and you were like me. I don't have my sunglasses right now, but you know, I would sit at games like with my sunglasses on and my eyes closed. And no one would know my eyes are closed and be like, you know, did you see it? Did you see his hit? And I'm like, oh yeah, I saw. No, I didn't see his hit. I didn't see any of it, because you're in pain and you're trying to live, but you're not, you know, and that's, I think, what makes me the most sad for everyone in this group right now. And all the women that aren't, the 1 in 4 that are suffering with migraines, is that you feel that you have to push through. You feel that you have to just manage because that's what you've been told. So please know that you don't have to manage. And on that note, for any of you that are here live that would like a copy of A Day in the Life of a Freedom from Migraine Method member, we have a very special resource for you, for all of you that are here. Comment, why don't we comment life? I like the word life. Let's comment life below if you want that resource. It is, it's kind of the size of an ebook. It is a little long. I think it's like, you know, 17 to 20 pages, but it will literally walk you through what it is like to actually work with us, to be in a program, and the kind of results that you can get that Maggie and Carrie and Cheryl and Barbie talked about today. I think you will all really enjoy this. It's a quick read. I promise it's not anything crazy or long, but I think it's worth your time to take a look. So if you'd like that, comment life, and we will make sure that Valentina and Kathy reach out to you in Messenger and get you that within the next day or so. All right, ladies, I could totally go on and on, but I better honor everyone's time. So thank you so much, Maggie and Carrie and Cheryl and Barbie, for being here today. And thank you for everyone that's over in the group that sent in your questions, that took your time tonight to come and listen to these ladies. Please know, if we didn't tell you anything else tonight, please leave with knowing that there is hope. There is hope for you living a life at your version of migraine freedom. And I think the versions that we heard tonight were pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much. Here's to your migraine freedom. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the US. We'll be back to our migraine strategy call at our normal time next week. It will be at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be talking about a big training that I have coming up in December. So if you want to hear about this, make sure you join next week. And we might even have a few, maybe a few little bonuses if you show up live that we can throw your way. All right, everybody, here's to your migraine free day. We'll see you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.